To sing, nigga. You know you don't interrupt me when I'm finna sing, nigga. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes, baby.
And the wild style
I don't wanna hurt nobody, but there is something that I must confess.
What's going on, people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? I was thinking, right? And I was just listening to some people. You know, some people on the other side, right? And they've been saying this for a while, about certain people that support R. Kelly being enablers and all that. And I noticed that statement came up again recently. I heard someone say that, and I'm like, well, I don't understand how a man that should be presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, how someone can be considered an enabler, especially when he has not been to court yet. And the only time he has been to court in his lifetime was in 2008, and he was acquitted. So, and yeah, we're gonna keep on saying that. We're gonna keep bashing that in their head until they get the point. The man was acquitted. The so-called obstruction of justice is alleged. In the paperwork, it's alleged, so it's not like that's confirmed. It ain't stamped. But one thing we can stamp is that he went to trial in 2008, and the jury said not guilty on all counts. We can stamp that. My thing is, though, if anybody is an enabler, right? Because that word enabler, right? But how is it that we're the enablers, right? But when you got women who come out on a docuseries and they clearly say, oh, I lied to him about my age, or, you know what I'm saying? Or when I was ready to leave, I just left, and then, but yet they want to push the narrative like they was trapped in the house and all that. But every time when one of them was ready to leave, they just left. And sure enough, soon as they left, they went right to most likely Susan Loggins, and tried to sue the man. Some of them even sued him and then went back to him after suing him. Well, wanted to go back to him, which makes perfect sense. That's why he said on the Gayle King interview that he needs help because people keep betraying him and he keeps forgiving them. I can name some names of people that said they left and then came back. Lisa Van Allen, she wants us to believe that she did not want to have a child by R. Kelly. Yeah, all right. But you had a child by someone else, someone less fortunate, most likely, and then you brought that child around R. Kelly. But you said you didn't want to have a child by him because you didn't want, because of how he treats women or whatever lie you was trying to tell. Everyone knows she's a compulsive liar. She lies all the time. Precious Way, well, according to Cheryl Mack, Precious Way was, she could see that Precious Way was still in love with R. Kelly, even after he so-called beat her, stopped her from seeing her family, made her have an abortion, told her to stay in the hotel, don't move, sit down, shut up, don't do this, don't do that. After all that, she still was in love with him, according to what Cheryl Mack was saying. Once again, it just seems real phony. To me, if anybody is an enabler, right, it's you people. You're enabling these women, and you're enabling them to go chase a man with money, right? In my opinion, this is my opinion, everybody. I feel like you're enabling them to go around a man with money, to chase a man with money and fame, and the minute things doesn't go your way, or the minute it doesn't work out, or whatever the case may be, you are enabling them, and you're saying that suing them is right. Or you're saying that lying to a man about your age is right. You're saying that skipping school is right, with the mother being right there at the courthouse. You're saying all that's right. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how we can live in a society where we think it's okay for a man to be accused of an accusation, right? And next thing you know, his whole life is taken from him. Whether it's his career, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, his freedom. I mean, all that's been taken from R. Kelly with no proof in court. No trial has happened yet. This is all accusations. And it all stemmed from a bogus docuseries, a biased, one-sided docuseries. And then, of course, you got the prosecutorial misconduct that attorney Kim Fox and Michael Avenatti was doing. In my opinion, they was doing that. They was doing the dirty work for the federal government. Okay, which was basically they made so many inflammatory statements in the media, basically trying to persuade the public. And they did a pretty good job, because a lot of people turned on R. Kelly, and a lot of people in the court of public opinion believe that he is guilty. And they tried to persuade the public, and they made people say, well, they convinced people, I should say, this is a guilty man right here. This is why we're charging him, because he's a guilty man. He's a pedophile. He's a predator. He's been doing this for 30 years. And we all know this. We all saw him. All saw that he married Aaliyah at 15, which we don't know if that's true. We all saw the sex tape, which I'm pretty sure that wasn't him on the tape with a minor. You see what I'm saying? He was acquitted of that. But they want to keep on reminding people of these things. You know what I'm saying? Playing off of our emotions and playing off our vulnerability. You know what I mean? That's all they've been doing. But if you ask me, you all are enabling. You're enabling a society where things are not going to be fair when it comes to law and our civil rights and our rights as human beings, man. When anybody can just come out and accuse you of doing a crime to them, or assaulting them, or whatever the case may be. However, there's so many inconsistencies in your story, and then on top of that, it's clear to me that you was extorting this man. You lied about your age to this man. At 16 years old, you know the difference between wrong and right. If you can drive a vehicle, a motor vehicle, you know the difference between wrong and right. There are 16-year-old mothers to this, some younger than that to this day, that are having children at 16 years old. And you know what they're doing? They're handling their business. They're handling their responsibility. They're growing up fast, and they are taking care of the child that they have birthed because of their decisions, to have unprotected sex. And you all are enabling this behavior, in my opinion. Enabling these younger women, or women, period, to grow up fast, or to make fast decisions, and then they want to act clueless and play the victim when it's convenient. But anyhow, let me move on to some things real quick. I'm gonna get back to R. Kelly in a minute. Just wanted to talk about this situation here, right? A photo, right, of one of the jurors in the Derek Chauvin criminal case, or whatever, the murder case against George Floyd. A photo of him wearing a Black Lives Matter hat. It says a t-shirt, but if you read further into the article, I believe it's a hat of Black Lives Matter. And you're going to see why I say that. It surfaced lately after the verdict, right? And I hadn't had a chance to talk about this. I wanted to talk about this and get my opinion on it. It says the juror Brandon Mitchell, right? He's 31 years old. They got a photo that surfaced of him in a Martin Luther King Jr. shirt. That has a picture of Martin Luther King Jr. on it, and it has the words that says, "Get your knee off our necks." And also, not only that, he's wearing a baseball cap with BLM on it, which we all know stands for Black Lives Matter, right? Well, Mr. Mitchell told the Star Tribune that the photo was posted on social media by his uncle in D.C. last August during a commemoration of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech from 1963. Mitchell also said it wasn't a march for George Floyd, and it was an opportunity. He felt like it was an opportunity for him to be around thousands of black people and to be a part of something. Okay? Some users took to social media and interpreted the photo as a sign of activism that tainted the jurors' ability to be impartial during Chauvin's conviction process. Okay. Mitchell told Chauvin's attorney when he saw the video of what Derek Chauvin did to George Floyd, rest in peace. When he saw the video, he wondered why the other 3 officers didn't intervene. This right here, when I heard this, everybody, I couldn't believe it. I'm just wondering what y'all think about this. If y'all can let me know in the comments. This is ridiculous. I mean, to me, I personally feel like that this was all planned. It's all planned. It was a conspiracy. It was a setup. Magically, right? Now here it is that the murder of George Floyd happened last year. Okay, they did jury selection. They started the trial. The man is guilty, and now magically, after he is surprisingly, to a lot of people, even Derek Chauvin, if you look at his face, he looked very surprised with those guilty verdicts, right? And magically, after that, this picture surfaces with this juror, Derek Mitchell, wearing a Black Lives Matter hat and a Martin Luther King Jr. Shirt that says, "Get your knee off our necks." This is just a game to me. I think this is one of those games where, they fed us a bone, right? They gave us what we want, or at least what we think we want. I personally think we need much more. I mean, however, it's a start. Any sign of some justice in some sort of form is okay with me, right? But in actual reality, I felt like they just threw us a bone like they usually do. In other words, saying, "Here y'all go, shut up," right? But now here it is where they are coming with this nonsense. Now magically this man is wearing this cap and this shirt, and they just now are finding out about this. I just find that I just feel like that's a plant, man. Like that picture is a plant, and it's all these little games that they play, man. It's these little games they play. They convicted that man, in my opinion. I believe the jury was instructed by somebody in high places to make sure they get this right, because they did not want no riot. They did not want a rebellion again in Minnesota. They just didn't want that. As we all know, they was boarding up stuff, what I'm saying, before the verdict and all that. And they really was trying to avoid that, I do believe. Now, they say, right, that the that the jurors couldn't make a decision, right? It was, they didn't have the ability to be impartial during the conviction process. Now they're saying this off of this one man. Now there's still 11 other jurors, okay? But they're trying to take this one man. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the way things go. It's the law. Unfortunately, all it takes is one juror, right? That's all it takes is one juror. And, things can go not in our favor, or not, whatever the case may be. You can flip it around, whatever. But I just think that it's just, I think it's some BS, man. I think it's some nonsense. I think that this one could be, I don't think it's going to make a difference, really. I mean, this one guy shouldn't have made a difference. I don't understand how he slipped through the cracks, but he claims that he was being honest. But you know how that is. I've taken tests or been asked questions where I tweaked it to what I wanted to, how I wanted to answer things and all that, so it can go in my favor. But who knows? All I know is Mr. Derek Chauvin's attorney most likely is going to try to use this for an appeal, and people, they're seeming to think that it's not going to make a difference. He's going to get convicted again anyway, but we will see. Hopefully everything stays the same and everything goes the way it needs to go, But like I said, we got a long way to go. This is not the end of nothing. There's so many other cases where police officers have killed minorities in this country and have gotten away with it, has not gotten any time, has not got convicted, has not gotten it's a lot of them haven't even got charged. And it's sad, but it's the reality of the life we live in. Unfortunately, African Americans have been dealing with these things since we was brought to this country. We've been dealing with these same things, and I just really hope that they don't try to do nothing funny here. And I hope that, most likely they'll probably get the appeal, because it does look like, you know what I'm saying, that they had a biased juror that already had his mind made up. But like I said, you still got the other 11, man. I just think that they're just desperate right now. They're just, and what a shame would it be if they had an appeal and this thing got tried again, and next thing you know, this man became innocent. I don't even know how I would fathom that, man. Anybody got their opinion on this? How would you fathom that if this thing was to get reversed at the end of the tunnel, and next thing you know, this was reversed, and this officer here, who stood on this black man's neck for 9 minutes, had his knee on this man's neck, I should say, for 9 minutes, ends up becoming an innocent man instead of the all counts, being guilty, like how it was before. I mean, that just would be, man, that'd be terrible, man. That'd be terrible. So much racism in this world. We need to inject it with love and just try to get things on track, man, and try to get it better, man, because it's been, the way this country has been operating in this world, period, man. At some point it has to change. I don't think it's going to change in our lifetime, however, but I do believe one day it will change. Who knows? Hopefully sooner than later. All right. So another picture surfaces, another situation where racism is involved. At least, we don't know if this young man is racist or not. However, American Idol eliminates one of their top 5 finalists, Caleb Kennedy, over a video featuring a KKK styled hoodie. I don't know what to think about this situation. Reason why is because you got a 16-year-old here. He's 16 years old. His name's Caleb Kennedy. Like I said, he's a promising future. He has a promising future. Well, at least he had one on American Idol. It came to an end after a video circulated online that showed the South Carolina native sitting next to a friend, and the friend was wearing a white hood reminiscent of the garb worn by Ku Klux Klan. Kennedy's mother stated that the singer was 12 during the time, and the photo wasn't referring to the KKK, but rather the movie The Strangers Pray at Night. She also said Caleb doesn't have a racist bone in his body, and he loves everyone and has friends of all races. Yeah, see this picture here. That's clearly a picture. Because like when I first heard about this, I'm like, well, maybe it's just a hoodie that, maybe people being too sensitive. A lot of people been sensitive nowadays, with this new time period that we in, this climate that we in, with all this cancel culture and mute culture and all that. But that's clearly, yeah, that picture looks pretty bad. That clearly looks like Ku Klux Klan. It resembles it a little too much for me. Now, she claims that he was 12 years old at the time. He doesn't look 12 years old in this picture at all to me. He looks pretty much close to the same age that he is now. So I don't believe that. But, even so, even if he's 16, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know in South Carolina, it's a lot of racism in there, in that state. But I'm not sure what to think about this one, man. I personally think, I guess it was the right decision. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, this looks a little racist, and if he's affiliating himself with people like this, then it's a good chance that it might be in him a little bit. He might have it in him, and my thing is, where's all these pictures coming from? You know what I'm saying, y'all? It's all like all these pictures keep circulating. You know what I'm saying? And and popping up after, after a certain time period. Now here it is, this young man, I should say, made it to the top 5 finalists. So they went this whole competition, and next thing this picture pops up now. It's like you had the whole competition prior to this for this picture to hit the airwaves or whatever, and now all of a sudden they want to hit the airwaves now. It makes me think. I ain't really been following American Idol lately, but it makes me think if this was another little situation where there was a plan. You know what I'm saying? A plan from somebody higher up. I mean, I don't know if how good this young man's singing is and all that. Like I said, I ain't been following it, but that's clearly a racist picture, and I think the mother is I don't believe what his mother is saying, to be honest with you. I don't believe he was 12 years old, and I believe that there is some type of affiliation with that clan or whatever, at least within the family or in the neighborhood. Something, there's some type of affiliation there, in my opinion. But let me go to something positive, man. I want to talk about Jaden Smith for a minute, right? Now, I opened it up, right? Open these two little topics up, right, with some racist topics, right, with these little pictures, right? So, I want to talk about something positive real quick, and that's Jaden Smith, man. Jaden Smith is opening a LA restaurant to feed homeless people for free. He's turning his I Love You food truck into a restaurant. Smith said it's for the homeless people to get free food. However, now this is where I'm kind of, I don't know what to think about this one. However, he says if you're not homeless, not only do you have to pay, but you have to pay for more than the food's worth so that you can pay for the person behind you. Now, I don't know about all that. I mean, I think that with situations like this, like nonprofits and stuff, I thought that he would be able to get like grants and stuff. I guess if people will do it, to help out the fellow man and woman, then hey, if they'll do it, then they'll do it. I personally wouldn't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much every time I see somebody homeless, I try to give them money if I can. So to me, it's like trying to help somebody else eat. I don't see the problem in that. I just wonder if people, if the public, if the masses in that area are going to be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And then how will you know who's exactly homeless? I mean, surely he's not going to have people come in there with paperwork from social services or something saying I'm homeless. I don't understand how he's going to be able to know who's homeless and who's not. But anyhow, also, right, Smith also has involvement in New Balances, the shoes, New Balances. The We Got Now campaign. Through the campaign, the footwear company will highlight Smith's Water Box project, which provides access to clean water in underserved communities. Smith and his organization co-founder Drew Fitzgerald also launched 501c3, which is a new type of nonprofit for younger generations focused on energy, food, water, and shelter. The organization is all about giving back to the community, specifically serving the black and brown community that's affected by these issues. Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. We need more like this in the urban community, in the minority communities, in the African American communities, Hispanic communities. We need more of this, man. We suffer so much as a people. If you go in just about any urban city in America, it looks terrible. It looks terrible. I've been in my share of them, just from traveling and stuff like that, and visiting from different states and stuff, whether it's New York, Florida, you know what I'm saying, Missouri, Chicago, whatever, Maryland, whatever the case may be. I've had my share of visiting states, and they're pretty much all pretty bad looking in every urban community. We need more young people like this to step up to the plate, but we also need the older generations to step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? It's not too late for the older generations, the middle-aged generations, whatever the case may be. It's got to be a team effort involved with everybody, and bashing the community is not going to get it done. Bashing the community is not going to get it done. We all got to understand that we all have problems. Nobody's perfect. Everybody goes through something, and everybody is going through something right now. I don't know if it might not. Certain people's situation might be worse than others, of course, But at the end of the day, you going through something. You know what I'm saying? And I think that connection between the younger generations and the older generations need to come together, and we need to figure out how to start policing our own communities, start feeding our own communities, sort of like what the Black Panthers did back in the day, or at least what they was trying to do, feeding the community and policing the community, and we got to stop letting them come in our communities and destroying our communities and destroying our own, and we got to stop destroying our communities ourselves. You know, like I said, we are not a perfect people, and my next topic is going to definitely explain that on why I think that. But right now, shout out to Jaden Smith, man. I mean, just for him to be doing this at this age, I think he's like 22. He comes, you know, he was born into money with his parents, and it's good to see, you know, a young man that was born into money acting completely different than what's expected. You know, when you think of kids that was born into money, you don't think of them trying to do things like this. And I'm proud of him, man, for real. You know, I wish if I knew him personally, I'd give him a call and say, I'm proud of you, brother. Keep on doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? We need more of this. And one day, man, like I said before, I think that we will turn it around. You know, the African American community, we starting to slowly but surely, we are starting to get better. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that it is still a lot of poverty out there. Poverty is a big deal. It's, you know, people are hungry every day. People starving out here, homeless, all that. I understand that. But at the same time, it's things like this that makes me believe that there's hope for the future. You know what I'm saying? When you got young gentlemen like this trying to make a difference, you know, and not trying to tear down his people, but he's trying to help uplift his people. He's not out here, you know, trying to, you know, that self-preservation and all that. You know what I mean? Which, don't get me wrong, you got to take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else. You got to take care of home before you can change the world. You can't change the world unless you can, you know what I'm saying, can change your own first and foremost, you know? So don't get me wrong out here. But shout out to Jaden Smith, man. We need more young gentlemen like this and young women like this. And definitely, man, definitely. Now, remember I just now was saying the next topic, right, is going to explain why I said us black people aren't perfect, and we got a lot to work on. Pretty Ricky, right? Pretty Ricky's baby Blue. We all know he got shot not too long ago, but however, baby Blue is to plead guilty to PPP loan fraud. Real name Diamond Blue Smith was arrested in October 2020 in a massive COVID-19 relief loan scam. Official press release says that they were charged for alleged participation in a scheme to file fraudulent loan applications seeking more than $24 million in forgivable Paycheck Protection Program loans guaranteed by small business administrations. $24 million. Now, Pretty Ricky, right? I don't really keep up with them. However, the last time I can remember them, like, having some music out and you know, when they was hot with their 15 minutes of fame, so to speak, was probably, you know, was definitely over like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, and I thought the COVID, the PPP jump was to, like, for your small businesses, like if you know, was due to COVID, you know, your business was hurting and you wasn't making the amount of money that you could make or you should make or would make or whatever the case may be. And this Bama asks for $24 million. Baby Blue from Pretty Ricky, $24 million. That's how much I guess he was trying to say he was losing out on because of COVID. It's a shame, man. But I'm not going to talk about him too much with this situation, right? Because that's you know, that's on him. He's pleading guilty. That's that. You know what I'm saying? I personally think he's pretty dumb for trying to get $24 million, but you know, certain people are, you know, greed will enslave us all. if we allow it to, you know. But my thing is with this PPP loan stuff, right? I've been hearing it a lot lately, and here's my honest opinion on this, everybody. Here's my honest opinion on this. I ain't trying to take no shots at nobody. All I'm saying is this: I don't understand why, whenever there's an opportunity, right, for people to get some money, because in my opinion, right, us African Americans, we should have been got reparations. You know what I'm saying? We should have been got reparations for what our ancestors had to deal with. So if it's any type of program that can help those whose business suffered from, those whose business suffered from the COVID, and the government is willing to pay and forgive the loans, I don't understand why people are making that hot, man. I don't get why people making, blowing the spot up like that. It's like, that's why we'll never get ahead. It's like every time black folks try to come up, you got other black folks trying to tear it down, man. Yeah, and I get it, people mad at each other and all that, but look, we gotta stop with this cop calling and all this snitching, man, on YouTube, yo. For real, man. It's like, come on, people. Listen, we all come from the struggle, man. We all come from the struggle. We all was born, for the most part, I don't know about all of us, but a lot of us was born into poverty. We was born as African Americans, so we automatically are in debt when it comes to the struggle in American society, man. And the way we carrying it with each other, man, it's disgraceful, man. It's like I said on the last couple videos. It's like everybody want to keep calling the cops on each other and getting each other hemmed up and putting charges on people, man. It's like, look, get your money, man. Get your paper. Stop trying to stop other people from getting paper. Get your paper. Don't do it illegal. I ain't saying do nothing illegal now, but if you got a small business and you suffered from the COVID, you should be able to, you know what I'm saying, get some help. You know what I mean? It ain't no need to be calling and blowing the spot all up like that, you know? Come on, people, what we doing here? Like I heard Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like black people, we always blowing up the spot. I guarantee you will not find a white person coming on YouTube or on the news talking about these other white people are getting fraudulent PPP loans. They not stupid like that, man. That's crazy. When if the government is giving people an opportunity to get some money back from money that they lost from a pandemic, a virus that then put us in our homes and put a lot of people out of work for 2 years, man. And y'all want to be calling the police on each other and putting in federal claims and stuff like that. What's wrong with y'all, man? Come on, man. Look, we gotta stop with this cop calling mentality, man. For real, it's terrible with it, man. It's like this goes back from back in slave times. It's like it was always two crews. It was always two crews. The same thing we seeing on YouTube, everybody, is the same thing that Malcolm X was trying to tell us about the house Negro and this field Negro. It's the same thing. The same way we got two little crews here, and both crews is we got three crews, but I'm talking about the two crews that's claim that they for the same cause, right? But yet they fighting each other all day and trying to call the police on each other and put in claims and digging up each other's personal information and all that and all this. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. They have put this on our psyche, and it has passed down from generation to generation. And the bottom line is, as sad as the reality is, African Americans or black people hurt other black people. It's bad enough that we already are, it's bad enough that we're treated at the bottom of the barrel in society. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to the social order of things, we are at the bottom. You understand? Cause not only do we have everybody else looking at us wrong, but we look at each other wrong, man. We always side-eyeing each other. We always trying to take each other out and knock each other's hustle and trying to get each other hemmed up with the law, man. Now the way the police is killing blacks these nowadays, man, shouldn't nobody be calling no police on no other black person, man, right now. Unless you have to. You understand it? But calling somebody, you know what I'm saying, for some petty YouTube commentary, some back and forth YouTube commentary, calling the police, putting in claims and stuff like that, trying to get people sent to jail, man. Come on, black people. We got to do better than this, man. We got to do better than this. It's not good, man. They already looking at us. They laughing at us, y'all. They laughing at us. Because when they see stuff like this, they looking at us like, come on now. We can't even get no social order within our own people. We can't even have two groups come together for one common cause, even if we don't even want to work with each other, or we don't even got to like each other. Y'all stay over there and talk about R. Kelly in a good way. We stay over here and talk about R. Kelly in a good way. I don't see how that can't work. I don't see how it can't work. And I ain't trying to preach to nobody. I'm just saying, y'all messing up the paper now. Y'all trying to fuck up the paper. And I don't understand black people to think like that, man. I don't understand black people to think like that now. Come on now. If they trying to help and allow people to get some money back for the money that they lost because of this COVID and this pandemic, y'all need to stop playing these games, man. Especially for those of y'all that signed up for a PPP loan yourself. It don't make sense, man. Come on now. What are we doing here, man? We got to start leading better. You know what I'm saying? Just being better leaders. Because you know what? What's going to happen is, man, y'all putting all this noise on this PPP loan. And the people that really need to file for a PPP loan, they're going to make it harder and harder for them to get it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to start, they're going to start making it where you're going to have to start jumping through more loopholes in order to get what you want, in order to get help. You understand? It's like we can't mess up the paper for everybody, man. Like, come on now. Y'all need to stop, man. Y'all can't be hating on the paper now. Y'all can't be hating on people making money. Like, let's not be hating now. You know? Ain't nobody saying, like I said, go break the law or nothing. But if you actually need to get a PPP loan and you actually have a small business or a business, whatever the case may be, and you suffered through COVID, there is nothing wrong with filing for a PPP loan. That's what I'm saying. We putting these little narratives on it where y'all making it sound like it's bad or something. It ain't nothing bad. It ain't nothing wrong with it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with it. We just gotta, you know what I mean? We just can't be doing all that, man. We gotta chill out, you know? We gotta chill out. But I wanna play something real quick, man, and let me get back to the R real quick, R. Kelly for a minute. And I just wanna play this real quick, everybody. Hold on.
The story you've heard before, but never like this. No one can emulate her. No one can sound like her.
An all-new Unsung.
Her voice goes straight to your soul.
Selena Johnson.
I'm honored to be a part of, to be able to say I was on Unsung. It's an honor because so many great artists before me have done it. Back in the day when I first started coming out, I might have felt like, man, I'm not getting out there, But I think that that's just what it is. It's not a matter of not appreciating me as an artist. It's a matter of not knowing. We're not all sitting around. I know I ain't sitting around looking up all the albums in the world, trying to find every single song in the world. We're not doing that. It is to the responsibility of our record labels, our team, and ourselves. R. Kelly had an interview at the radio station, and he was like, I'm throwing a party for my sister, Selena Johnson. And so that's when it started to kind of be the theme in Chicago of Selena Johnson being the queen, R. Kelly being sort of the king of Chicago. It's not your fault that you made a baby to Bump and Grind, or it's not your fault that I Believe I Can Fly was your graduation song in high school and you have fond memories of high school. So if you want to play that song because it's related to a memory that's fond for you, now you got to be nervous. You can't even have a fond memory. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, I do feel like if there are memories that you have created and they're attached, because he has wonderful songs like Touch the Dream. He got gospel albums. He has a lot of great positive records. On the other end of the spectrum, R. Kelly Robert has written lots of sexual records, and that probably feels uncomfortable. And that now people feel like, am I contributing to that message? So in that way, it's fair if you don't want to listen to it. Like for me, I Am Your Woman has some suggestive lyrics in it that I was like, I can't sing this. Talking about some, I've been dealing with you since sweet 16, woman enough to let you raise me. And I felt like for a long time, like if I get on stage and sing that, what am I saying? And how, if there's women in the audience that have been sexually abused and I sing those lyrics and they know he wrote that record, what am I doing? What am I contributing to? So for a while, and it's still out, I took it out of my American show.
So let me ask y'all, what y'all think about that right there, man? You know, that right there is what I be talking about. I know I did a video, a little while back or whatever, basically calling out all these celebrities, man, that R. Kelly has written for and written hit records for. And what she just said to me was just very alarming, For one, she pretty much let it be known that it was R. Kelly that gave her the promotion, I should say. He gave her free promotion by shouting her out on the radio, and at that point, that kind of would push her career to the next level. R. Kelly, giving the approval and stamping her as an artist, So she's saying that basically that, he's got good positive records, which is good. It's nothing wrong if you a fan of that. You can't help it if it was at your graduation or whatever. The typical narratives that they've been kicking with the whole, I believe I can fly at the graduation and step in the name and the love at the wedding. The typical narratives they've been pushing, right? But then she says, on the other hand, Robert, that's what she said, has written a lot of sexual records. And to me, I'm like, well, damn, because he's R. Kelly, he can't write sexual records. He's an R&B artist. All R&B artists write a bunch of sexual records. That's a big part of the formula when it comes to R&B. It's sexual energy and love making and stuff like that. That's what R&B, you know what I'm saying? That's a big formula to R&B. And nobody does it better as far as that formula when it comes to making music like R. Kelly in the genre of R&B, right? So then she says she had the song that I'm Your Woman. First and foremost, the title of the song, it says it all right there. I'm your woman. Not I'm your girl, or I'm your minor, or I'm your child. I'm your woman. And she referenced some lyrics in the song that says, I've been down with you since sweet 16, woman enough to let you raise me. And in her mind, she says, if I go out there and sing that song, and there's women in the audience or young girls in the audience that has been sexually abused, what type of message am I sending to them? To me, that's an easy one. You're sending a message of love and longevity in a relationship. Nobody has said, the lyrics is not saying, oh, you are an adult man and I've been down with you since I was a minor at 16. That's not what the lyrics is saying. We can't take some lyrics and make it mean what we want it to mean, or make it mean what we think the public is going to make it mean. You understand what I'm saying, y'all? Now, to me, I'm clearly taking it as we've known each other since we were 16. I'm not looking at it like, oh, the man is older than the woman, or the woman is older than the man, or vice versa. I'm looking at it like both of the parties in the song was 16. They've known each other since 16, so technically they have been high school sweethearts, and they are still in love today. That's what I got out of the lyrics. And I'm sure that's what she got out of the lyrics when R. Kelly initially gave her the record originally. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's where she got out the lyrics. But you got this climate, against R. Kelly and this R. Kelly hate train with Me Too and Mute R. Kelly and Time's Up and all that. And now she's scared to even support one of her brothers. She is scared to fully support one of her brothers. She tried to support him in a half-ass way, by saying it's okay to basically to love those records, but then these sexual records, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't sing those. And what really got me, y'all, is how she said, because she might be sending the wrong message to a young woman or a young girl in the audience that has been sexually abused, she took the song out of her American shows. Keyword, American. Okay? She took it out her American shows. Not all her shows. Not her shows overseas. Just the American shows. And to me, that speaks volumes. That's basically saying, oh, I'm not taking this song out of my shows in America because I believe in the cause and I really don't want to offend some young lady or some young girl in the audience. I'm taking it out of my American shows only because I don't want to suffer any backlash of performing an R. Kelly song that R. Kelly wrote for me. That's all she said right there. That's all she said. There's no other way to chop it. That's what she said. There's no other way to explain what she said because that's what she said. She said she only took it out. Well, she didn't say only. However, she said she only. There I go with that only again, y'all. Don't forgive me. She said she took it out of her American shows. And to me, and what do y'all think? Does that mean that her overseas shows, she's performing that song? She's only not performing it when she's in America? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me, everybody. Now, people got to stop this this scared to stand up for what's right. This man's rights was violated. They stopped this man from being able to make money. Okay? He has no convictions. He has no criminal record. All there was allegations. I mean, for God's sake, the docuseries hadn't even came out yet. They was just going off of Jim Derogatis, and we know what type of, opportunist he is when it comes to R. Kelly. He's made a career out of writing these little phony articles about R. Kelly. And a lot of these narratives and these article topics that he wrote, I'm sorry, that's the narratives that they was using in Surviving R. Kelly. All that, can you separate the man from the music, and we don't love our little black girls, and because they was little black. All that is Jim Derogatis' work. That's all his writings. And it kills me that black women went on that docuseries following writings from a white man like Jim Derogatis, who was clearly an opportunist, who doesn't care about no black women or black girls for that matter. He doesn't care. He's an opportunist. Why can't y'all see that? Y'all don't see that? Come on now. This man came on a platform and tried to blame the Nation of Islam, for God's sake, and saying that they might be the ones, he think they might be the ones that put the tape in his mailbox at his house.
That's crazy.
Come on now. And y'all got so much respect for this dwarf. Come on now. R. Kelly, man, listen, I done said this before. They ain't tripping off these girls. They don't care about these young black girls. I did commentary on it before. Since when did the federal government care about black girls? This ain't about this. This is about the racketeering. So that they can get that forfeiture that they got at the end of that racketeering indictment. They want that criminal forfeiture. So that way, Sony doesn't have to give R. Kelly his masters back. They don't have to honor Section 203 of the Copyright Act. Universal doesn't have to give him his publishing. At that point, the government would own it, and then the government would sell it back to the record labels, allegedly. Standard fucking practice. Oh, excuse my language. Standard practice. They do it all the time. They get these big time drug dealers, these mafia families. That's who they really charge these RICOs and racketeering for. and they seize all their property, all them fancy cars, all them nice houses, all that money. They seize it all. And where does that money and them property, where does that property go back to? To auctions. They take them to auctions. A lot of auctions at the car dealership, those are drug dealers' cars that got seized. And they send them straight to the auctions. What you think they gonna do with R. Kelly's masters? They gonna auction it right back to the record companies. Come on now. I mean, they are trying to charge an R&B music entertainer with racketeering. Man, and what is racketeering? I done told y'all. Dishonest and fraudulent business dealings. Racketeering is a genre of organized crime in which the perpetrators set up a coercive, fraudulent, or otherwise illegal scheme to repeatedly or consistently collect money or other profit. So they saying he did racketeering and he kept getting all these little young girls, according to the Enterprise. So where's the money and the profit at for that? Where's the money and the profit for that? Like, what are they saying? What are they telling us? What are they trying to make? They trying to make this fly, and it ain't gonna fly. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense what they doing. Racketeering may refer to an organized criminal act in which the perpetrators fraudulently offer a service that will not be put in effect. Offer a service to solve a non-existent problem, or offer a service that solves a problem that would not exist without the racket. Usually a racket exists as both the problem and the solution. And, come on now, is used as a method of extortion. Now, who was R. Kelly extorting? Because like I said, it seems like everybody was, well, not everybody, but a lot of people was trying to extort him. Whenever you kept on coming back and back trying to get payments, and Mr. Dale McDavid allegedly was the one signing off on the checks, giving you the, paying you the money. Come on now. The purpose of the RICO Act is for the elimination of the infiltration of organized crime and racketeering into legitimate organizations operating in interstate commerce. And of course, commerce is the exchange of goods and services. Come on now. Now, where, out of all of that, what in the world is R. Kelly doing in this indictment that constitutes a racketeering charge? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. What is he doing that constitutes a racketeering charge? In that indictment, I'm not seeing nothing about no fraudulent or dishonest business dealings. I'm not seeing none of that, what I just now read. None of that. None of it. They made a phony racketeering case. An immature racketeering case. Because when you think about 30 years, and they say he's been doing this for 30 years, and they only got, a total of 12 people? And I think some of the people was in both indictments. Come on now. That's it? In 30 years, that's all they got? Come on now, and they had to put all these charges together. Come on now, we all know how this just now went down. We saw it right in the media, right in, live in color, right in our face. They put together this racketeering and charged a few more people or whatever, to try to make it make sense. That's what everybody always saying. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. The government can't make this make sense because it doesn't make sense. You had Kim Fox and Mike Avenatti coming in the media, making inflammatory statements, calling that man a pedophile, calling that man a sexual predator, saying that man is going to die in prison, saying that man's been doing this for 30 years. dirtying up that man's name, making him guilty in the court of public opinion, bringing up old cases and old investigations that was already investigated and that they already shunned, just like Attorney Greenberg told us in the media. All this stuff has been investigated already, and it was already determined that there was nothing there. Nothing. And the one thing that they tried to proceed with is the 2008 state case, and the man was acquitted. I'm sorry. They trying to say, oh, he obstructed justice. Nah, he didn't. They couldn't the jurors could not determine the age of the girl on the tape. They could not determine if it was R. Kelly on the tape. The mother and the father was saying that it wasn't her on the tape. She was saying that it wasn't her on the tape. R. Kelly was saying that it wasn't him on the tape. Jim Derogatis pleaded the fifth, and he was the one who got in contact with the tape first. Anonymously let him tell it. And he pleaded the fifth because he was scared he was going to incriminate himself. Come on now. The same thing Mark Fuhrman did in the O.J. Simpson trial. Let's speak on it. Let's speak on it. If you want to. Come on now. They had testimony from Lisa Van Allen. She was not credible. They had testimony from Sparkle. She was not credible. It was clear that Sparkle had a lot of reason and a lot of motive to want to hurt R. Kelly. And Lisa Van Allen and her two partners, they clearly was extorting that man for money. Trying to extort that man. In my opinion. They charged racketeering on mobsters, man. Al Capone. The Genovese family. Italian shit. You know, big time crime organizations. Real crime organizations. Not a R&B entertainer that sings love songs and gospel songs and and he has a lot of sexual records on the other hand too. I guess that's a crime now, writing a sexual record. They trying to dirty up that man's brand, make it seem like he writing lyrics about little children. Talking about some seems like you ready. Come on now. I can say I say that to my woman all the time. Seems like you ready. Cause I'm ready. That don't mean you talking to a minor. What are y'all talking about, man? They making up stuff, everybody. They making it up. They just they throwing stuff against the wall just to see what's gonna stick. But they know that MTV showed that fraudulent marriage certificate that you can clearly tell was copied and pasted. It's got a bunch of blemishes around the numbers and the signatures. Okay, Demetrius Smith already said his participation in that, right? So they going off of that, what they showed on MTV. They going off this phony 2008 case with R. Kelly was clearly trying to extort that man, clearly trying to set him up, and he was acquitted. Oh, damn well that wasn't him on that tape. At least to me it doesn't look like it. It looked like copied and pasted to me. Tape all beat up and all blurred out and all this and all that. Come on now. 3 different hairstyles on the tape. 3 different body figures on the tape. And that's supposed to be R. Kelly? Come on, man. Let's be realistic, man. And Michael Avenatti take it to CNN instead of taking it to the authorities. CNN, where they got plenty of capability and ability to edit, modify. And I ain't accusing him of it. I'm just saying it's mighty strange to me that he would take it to CNN instead of the authorities. And it's mighty funny to me that he would call himself showing evidence on his social media account. To me, that ain't evidence then. That's smoke and mirrors. That's just a weapon that he tried to use to dirty up this man's name further in the court of public opinion. So they can just do whatever they want with him. Hell, they got everybody thinking he guilty in the court of public opinion. It'd be nothing for them to just say guilty on something. On the racketeering, guilty. Who's going to dispute it when the whole world think he's guilty anyway. That's how they playing. That's how they think. But you got people that don't want to face that reality. Don't want to face that fact. But I'm going to wake you up one day. I'm going to wake you up one day. On that note, everybody, God bless everybody. I love y'all. We love y'all over here, me and my wife. If you can like, share, and subscribe, we'd appreciate it. If you want to donate, support the channel, we'd appreciate that as well. God bless you. I'm going to holler at y'all again later on. Peace.